Hello and welcome back. It is the 5th of February, so Monday again, and it's not quite raining, but it's kind of doing not very nice weather. Just cleaned out the inside of the mixer, so here's a good chance to see inside. So these are all big paddles which go around and mix everything up. Obviously that's the rotor in the middle. A little bit left in the bottom. You can't really get out. There's normally a lot more than that left in. I've just zeroed it, well, I've turned it all off now, but I just zeroed it back and there was 200 and something kilos left in when it stopped emptying. Just emptied it into this trailer because this is the next load of barley and beans which will be going. Now that's not going to be going for about a week and a half, so there's just a little bit in there, but I need that clean because we're going to be sorting these oats. So these are the oats here which have arrived. A bit of plastic blowing around in here, I don't know where that's come from. There's a bit of all sorts in here. So these are the oats. Can you see them there? So there's a few bits and pieces of linseed, I think, in there as well. Yeah, so we're not rolling them. Obviously when we do the barley, which is behind here. Have you ever seen barley? Have I shown you barley? Obviously most of you probably know what barley looks like. So this is the barley in comparison to the oats. The oats are a lot thinner, a lot lighter. They're the same variety as what you have on your porridge, or as your porridge, not on your porridge. And this is what you make your beer out of, if it's malting barley. This isn't, this is feed barley. Don't know what else you make out of barley. I know you make beer out of it. Anyway, so we're not going to be rolling them like we do with the barley. We're just going to be putting them in whole with the pellets, which I showed you in the last video when they get here. And we needed the mixer clear of barley, so we're not mixing barley in with it as well. So what I will be doing is changing my setup here a bit. I'll be moving these totes. This tote's got molasses in, which if we need to sweeten up the mix just to make it a bit more palatable, we can use that. Although we haven't needed to. So this was a tub we bought in last year before, I think it was. We didn't use any of it because the feed's been really good quality. If there's a bad year and we've got some bad rain coming through, we just put a bit of that in. We don't measure it as such, we just run it on seconds that the pump runs. So I do need to do a bit of work because the pipe's got a crack in it, but basically we connect it up to this. This is a hydraulically driven pump which pumps it up this green pipe through that valve up the top, and then there's a big just like dribble bar and it just dribbles it in, and then you let it mix, and it really does change it. You know, we had some wheat last year before, I think it was. They were sat in this corner of the shed just over here, and it wasn't very nice, a little bit stale, and the cows weren't eating it. Well, they were eating less of it. So what we did was we added some molasses to it, and it really made it sweet, and they loved it from that point. So if you've got stuff which has just gone a little bit stale, it's good for that. Obviously, if you need to give them more sugars, you can do that, but most of our feed is based upon protein basis, hence the beans added to it, because that's obviously got a lot of protein. Whereas the oats, which we're doing, don't need any of that. So we're going to move all this stuff so I can load it with the telehandler straight over this side, because we don't need to run it through the mill, and that frees up a tractor as well. So we'll pull that out of the way, because that has to be on this tractor. It's faffing around, really trying to get it all sorted. So we'll move these two totes, these IBCs here. That one has prop corn in, which is what we use to preserve some of the feed. Again, we haven't used that this year. The two IBCs which are there, you can see they've got the same stuff in. This is just watered down. They're not, they're still fresh. If you've got, what you can do instead of drying grain, you can prop corn it, which stops it rotting. Basically, it stops it trying to grow, stops it rotting. It also again sweetens it, it makes it more palatable. The cows go nuts for the stuff which has been prop corned, which is quite interesting because it's a disgustingly horrible smell. It's one of those smells which, if you by chance ever take a sniff of it, particularly when it's undiluted, it burns the back of your throat. We've had it a few times where we've been trying to work out what's been in an IBC, and I've took the lid off have a sniff and you regret it instantly, you know. Not nice. So yeah, like I say, we've not needed to use that all this year, so we'll get these two totes out of the way, and then that gives me a bit of room. Feed wise, we've got quite a lot in stock. This is the pig feed, which goes to Little Meadow Farm, that you know. So this is same as what I've just put into that trailer, barley and beans mix. So you can see what it looks like when it's done. All the white bits that, well, there is a bean, so that's a rolled bean. And then the white dusty stuff is the rolled barley. Obviously, because it's dried, it does kind of explode a bit. So she's got plenty to go. There's 9 on 3 ton there. There's whole barley for someone. They look after some chickens, basically. So that's going for them. And then these two just rolled barley, which are for someone to pick up for their cows, I think. So yeah, we're kind of getting there. What else am I today? Just had to deliver some veggies, and I had to move a trailer, which has given me a little bit of a rant. I was going to do that earlier, but then I thought, do I need to have a rant? But I do. So when you are driving a tractor, obviously the distance from the front of the weight block to the cab is probably not far off 6 foot on that tractor. If you've got a bigger weight block and a bigger bonnet, you know, this might be a 6-cylinder engine, but basically some tractors have a much longer wheelbase, so the bonnet is longer, and you could have a big weight, or you could have an implement on the front. We don't have 3-point linkage on the front of this, but a lot of tractors do, at which point there could be an implement sticking out of the front, so you might be 10 to 12 foot from the front of the vehicle. So when you're emerging from a junction, it's not very easy to do. So I was pulling out of a farm this morning where I had to drop a trailer off to with really bad visibility, and I was easing out and out and out. Now, me as a driver, I've done driving for many years, 21 years in fact, and for some of that I was a professional driver as well. Not a race driver or anything, just a professional driver. Like delivery drivers. Yeah, I was a bit more than a delivery driver. But if I was coming down the road and I started to see a weight block emerging from a gateway, I might, if I'm close, move out, go around it. If I'm a long way back, I'm gonna stop. I'm going to let it out. Now, this farm I've pulled out of quite a few times recently, and the last 2 times I have had cars go past when I've almost been out to the point of being seen. I can see, so that means my front wheels and the weight block are all out onto the road, and in the carriageway which I've been crossing, a car has passed me, which to be honest is not ideal, because I'm looking left and right, and I know that obviously if there was an accident it is my fault, I am the one emerging, but there is no other way to do it. There's no mirror, and you couldn't really put a mirror on here because of the shape of the road. It wouldn't work. But it just seems to be that there's so little consideration for tractors and stuff when you're pulling out. The amount of people who dodgily overtake us at the end of the farm drive down here, I've had it where I've had the indicators on and I know all the trailer lights work. We do make sure that they work and keep a check on the indicators. At least the indicators work and the brake lights. So I've been indicating to turn into the farm, and someone has overtaken me literally as I was about to cross over the road. So I'm very cautious with checking the mirrors and everything. But yeah, that was just my kind of little rant. It's not fun to try and do that. You know, let tractors pull out. It's easy enough to overtake us. We can only do, well, this thing can only do 25 mile an hour. So let us pull out. Let us get onto a straight. If there's ever like more than 3 or 4 cars behind me, I will pull over if I can. If it's the case that there's no gap or someone just won't overtake, I will pull over or at least slow down, put the indicator on and let people past. But you can see why people don't want to pull over. I've heard of people in the UK having miles of traffic behind them because they just don't want to pull over because they'll never get to pull back out again. You know, everyone's in so much of a rush. Doesn't take much to overtake a tractor. So yes, rant over, back to smiley things, and I'm going to just get this trailer shifted out of the way. So I need to move the telehandler and the telehandler's bucket. Cool. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, and I'm over my rant now from car drivers because I'm a car driver anyway. So, today I have... God, what have I actually been doing? Been harvesting. Look at this. So this is one of those veg boxes. So I'm knelt in a furrow, so it's not, well, I'm not knelt, but I've got my butt in it. So we've got Swedes, beetroot, lettuce, chard, spring onions, more lettuce in there. Found some more carrots, which are looking lovely. So these could have been the failed germination, which have then come on again. So that's a pretty young carrot. So baby carrot there, a couple of parsnips, and the amazing Cavallero, I don't even know how you pronounce it, which tastes absolutely spectacular. So that is one of our veg boxes, which I'm really happy they seem to be working well. We're only sending one out a week at the moment, but it's just proving the concept of, sorry, hand in the way, of how it's going to work and whether it does actually work. You know, that's the main thing. So then the rest of this stuff here, I've just moved my hands and can't tilt the camera now. The rest of this stuff here, parsnips, beetroot in here, and more Cavallero, is going down to the grand opening of the new greengrocers in Ramsey. Thrive Farms with their shop, which they're opening. This is all going down there. So they open tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely amazing. So Wednesday, so obviously when you see this, it will already have been open. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Such a fantastic opportunity for people and for Ramsey as well, and the rest of the north, south, east, west, wherever you want to be. You know, get in a car, don't get in the way of a tractor pulling out of a drive, but you know, come up and have a look. Sorry if it seems to be wobbling a lot. I need one of them gimbally things, don't I? But they're expensive, very expensive, and I don't make any money from doing this. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen at the moment. I'll try and stabilize that in production thing-ish if I can. I don't know how to. Learning experience. Yeah, so like I said, really, really good opportunity to come and get some fantastic fresh produce. There's a bit of all sorts. A lot of the smaller artisan producers are coming together. The oh, I've just forgot the name. There's an oat farm on the island. Well, I think it's a farm, but anyway, there's a producer who is doing muesli and granola and oat milk and such like, and they're going to have their products in, hopefully. The gourmet mushroom farm. There's obviously us. I think Little Meadow Farm are putting in some pork in there as well, which is great, or they're going to be. Who else have we got? Ross Bakery is in there. Oh, there's just all sorts. I can't remember the list. So if you are on the island, get up to Ramsey. It is in the old, you'll know it where the Born Place Chippy was, where Camelli's fish shop used to be. I don't know what was there. I can't remember what was there before the Chippy. But that was a long time since the Chippy was there. Yeah, just on the corner by the Parliament Square. Parliament Square? It's not Parliament Square. Parliament Square's up at the town hall. Where's it, Parliament Square? Where the old post office used to be. Oh, it's been one of them days. Absolutely one of them days. I've just remembered what I had to do. I went and got, oh, God's sake, my hand's gone really twitchy. I had to go get some keys cut this morning for a bungalow owned by the farm, and sorted a flagpole that blew over because the post has snapped. I've had a quick clean up of the back road because when the people who use the farm here, they've brought cattle down there, so that made a bit of a mess coming down there, so we had a little bit of a clean up there. I do think that they're sweeping it now, which is a bit better because I didn't take our sweeper down. I just had a scrape with the bucket. Yeah, and that's about it today. Tomorrow, I think it's a frosty start. I'm supposed to be out gardening. Obviously, I'm going to be popping down to the Thrive Farm shop to drop this stuff off. Then on Thursday, we might have snow or sleet. Probably rain, because we know what it's like here. But I do believe some places in the UK are going to have snow. So obviously, as I say, this is going out on Sunday, so we will already have known at this point. So I'm guessing now we're going to see rain. I'm guessing the mountain's going to close, because it always does. Because people like to throw themselves off it. So no bad on the DOI, but you know, they don't want to be constantly pulling people off the edges and the police and stuff, so they close it because people drive like idiots. So yeah, I'm going to get this lot sorted. I'm going to just get on with things. Totally lost my train of thought. Absolutely useless, terrible. So I shall see you tomorrow. Take care. Hello and welcome to the polytunnel in the dark. Now tonight we are forecast to frost. So just before I looked on here, and what's it saying? Oh, it says -5 at the moment as its minimum, but that's now saying 5 degrees C. But just before it was on 2 degrees C. I checked it from in the house. So today I got sorted a paraffin greenhouse lamp, because underneath that fleece at the back is all my tiny little seedlings, which are not going to appreciate frost really. So when they go down to the field, sorry, I'll light that back up again. When they go down to the field, they will be under fleece for a bit, and then they'll get the feet down and they'll be all right. But I just thought a short, sharp frost tonight might cause issues. So I wanted to try the paraffin lamp. So this is very old fashioned. I remember my dad having one of these, and I think that was his dad's. And they didn't look any different to this. So as you can see, paraffin's burning inside there, and this just works basically like a giant radiator. So I put probably about 4 litres of paraffin in the bottom of it, so we'll see how that does. Obviously, if it uses a lot of paraffin, it's not really worth it because of the cost of the paraffin. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It might go out if the wicks burn down too much, but the wicks, like a candle wick, burn the paraffin coming up them. So just giving it a bit of a go really. But as I say, it was 2 point something, and then it's now 5.1 in here, so it's definitely brought it up a bit. So that's a lot better. I was building the sawmill earlier. I was just starting to get that built. So I managed to get one of the log lifters done, and about half of it before it just got too cold. Sat on the floor outside in the dark with a head torch on, doing it. But so yeah, can't wait for that to be done and then put together, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go back inside and get warm because it's about 10 o'clock at night now. So and we'll see what the frost is like in the morning and see if this is still going. See you later. So good morning. It is about 7:30, and we didn't get a big frost. It's a little bit of a frost, but the burner is still going. So it managed to keep it above about 2.5, 3 degrees all night. So it don't feel that much warmer in here, but 2.6. Now I'm going to turn it off now, and then we'll see how sloshy it is. But yeah, so still feels pretty heavy. So I think that's done all right. There's definitely no sign of any frost in here. So we'll mark that down as a success. Right. I now need to go get 2 kids ready for school and make my wife pack lunch. And then get myself sorted for work. See you later. How you doing? Wednesday afternoon. So after the fun with the polytunnel last night, knowing that works, I'm going to try it again tonight because the sky's looking a little bit like we are going to get something. I hope. Now, I have just been down to see Elliot and drop off them bits and pieces that I harvested yesterday. It is looking astonishing in that shop. Absolutely amazing. Cannot wait. You know, wish him all the best at 3 p.m. today when he officially opens. In the meantime, I'm building the sawmill again. So this is the second of the log raisers. I built one last night. I only give up because it got too cold out here. So I'm just going to get this finished off this afternoon. Don't have much else to do. Got some bits and pieces to do down at the farm and the field. But I don't want to put any seeds in because of the possibility of frost and stuff. So we'll leave it for now. So at which point, this finished, and then I could get on with the next job up at the Ramsey Forest project as soon as this is done. So just putting the rollers on here, which make part of the lifting mechanism. So this bit goes up and down, adjusts the height, and then there's a rail goes in here. So I'll show you it when it's done. Better crack on. Good afternoon. It's Thursday today, and today's been a little bit of a non-starter work-wise. Unfortunately, my youngest has been off sick today. He's got a heck of a cough going through, which is not brilliant, and it has been doing the rounds, so we've kind of staved it off for this long, so at which point I've been at home. It is sleeting today. There's no snow down low as such, but there is snow up on the mountain, so the mountain road's closed again. So to be honest, I'd really struggled to find too much to do down at the farm, so it's not too bad being at home. I managed to get most of the sawmill built yesterday. I've just literally got the carriage to build, which I thought there was a bit of an issue with, so I sent an email through to the supplier I got it from, Davis Implements. Absolutely fantastic. Within about 10 minutes give me a call back, and just basically said you Logisol themselves have said you just bolt it together and it'll be fine, because it's just that some of the holes don't line up and it's making a piece of plastic bow, but apparently that is what it's supposed to do. So I'm guessing it must kind of shrink under tension or something like that. So that's absolutely grand. So I'm going to get maybe later on, if the weather kind of bucks up a bit. It is now, what time are we at? 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it has been raining, sleeting, snowing incessantly since about 9:30 this morning. So not lovely weather out there. I've just got a little bit of paperwork done, just doing a bit of housework as well, you know, trying to kind of keep on top of things. Yeah, so what else? So tomorrow I'm out on the gardens. We'll see what we're doing there, because yeah, as you can see, the it's not very nice out there. It's looking a bit nasty. So we'll see what there is to do. You know, there might not be an awful lot to do tomorrow down at the gardens. Sorry, that is the cat in the background shouting at me because he's not used to everyone being home, so he's following me around the house. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to look at a cherry tree as well down there, which needs a bit of severe pruning. So if I can get that sorted tomorrow, that would be good. We'll just have to see what the weather's doing as for respect for that. So yeah, it looks like Elliot had a fantastic day yesterday with the opening of the Thrive Farms greengrocer shop, and that went really well. Cats, who'd have them? Can you be quiet in the background? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Everything went well there. We had, as you saw, kale, beetroot and parsnip down there, and some turnips as well from previous ones. I didn't take any down yesterday, but he already had some left, which I'd taken down. So that's been absolutely great that that's happening, and you know, I wish him all the best for onwards, and can't wait to be getting a few more bits and pieces in there. Our seed order should be winging its way up towards Lancashire at the moment, so that then that's going to get shipped over here from one of the couriers here, because they don't ship to the Isle of Man, unfortunately, don't the company that I've ordered from. So they need to ship to one of the couriers and then bring it over, which will cost us a little bit, but not too much. And then I can start really planning. I do have some more seed to put in, but I'm definitely not doing it today. So I think that's down to, we'll just kind of see where we're at and keep an eye on what the weather's doing and the outlook. I think we are forecast some high pressure, which could result in some pretty low temperatures and some frosts. So yeah, we'll just wing it and go from there. I will be doing a delivery up to the old guardhouse this weekend, so I need to make sure I've got that picked and sorted tomorrow as well. So tomorrow's now getting very busy because there's not been a today. So yeah, right, I'm going to carry on, get a few bits and pieces sorted, check on the lad, see how he's doing. So see you later. Good morning, and it is Saturday, and this week has been a little bit of a funny one. At some point, all them hills were white. Most of this field was underwater because it was raining so hard. I've had 2 days off with my youngest, who has not been very well and has managed to pass it on, and I'm starting to cough today as well. So I'm going to keep it brief. Just had harvested the stuff for going up to the guardhouse. Pickings are really slim. to the point of not really worth doing it. You know, I'm definitely not going to cover any of my costs picking that, taking it up. I've got a little bit of stuff to go down to the market, a bit of beetroot and some turnips, which are going to go down to the new shop down at Thrive Farms. Yeah, it's the frost has definitely done a number on everything again. It's just kind of pushed everything a little bit wrinkly, a little bit not looking good. I really am at that window now where I can't properly get much planted. So, you know, it's just one of them, isn't it? You know, this is the thing with seasonal, because I am growing everything outside here. I do have a tiny little bit of stuff going in the polytunnel at home, but it is a tiny polytunnel. It's definitely not something I could do commercial in. So yeah, because everything's outside, it is just knocking everything back a bit. Seed orders should be here next week, so that's going to be really exciting. How sad do I sound? Exciting about seed orders, but you know, it's what I need. Get the seeds in, and then we can start growing some stuff. Lots more of the kale, which is going really well, and the beetroot as well. Beetroot's doing wonderful. I've just harvested most of a crate full of beetroot. There's not an awful lot left now. I have got more stuff coming on, but that's going to be a little while before that bulbs up. So yeah, just kind of that awkward time of year, I guess. You know, this is the first time at this time of year that I've been doing this. So it's all a learning curve. I could just hear a woodpecker going earlier, which is absolutely fantastic. Not heard one of them for a long time, so it was somewhere in them trees there. You know, which is great. I've got the big farm bird survey to do, where you just come and sit down for I think it's half an hour. So I'm going to come down here somewhere, get myself nice and comfy next week and do that. I'm going to use the app, the Merlin app as well, because that picks up the sounds. So it hears the birds, records it and tells you what's there, and it's really, really good. Apparently it's really accurate as well. I have spotted a couple of things which I've never heard of before over here, and then when I've clicked on the picture, I've managed to see it. It was in that hedge over there, one of my first videos. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but the thing picked it up and I'm like, what's that? So I had a look at it and it was there. It was in the hedge just next to us. So yeah, right. I'm going to go feel sorry for myself. I've got a hockey match later. I need to get through that and then I can die. Not literally, but, you know, figuratively, kind of just keel over, cuddle up somewhere and pretend that the world doesn't exist until Monday when I'm back down here again. So I shall see you later. Going to go get this edited up and sorted and posted, and hopefully not muck up my posting like I normally do. So yeah, we'll get it sorted. See you then.